Jesus Christ once said that knowing the truth will set you free. He was referring to the truth about who he was and what he came to do. But knowing the truth in general makes the world better. When you know the truth about a disease, you stand a better chance of avoiding it or healing it. When you know the truth about money, you stand a better chance of using it wisely. When you know the truth about what your government is doing, you stand a better chance of encouraging it to do good rather than evil. Wars are often started with lies and deception. Within each of us is both a sinful nature and a concept of what's good and evil. Truth exposes both good and evil. In doing so, good is favored by good people. Much of the evil we see in the world exists only when truth is hidden. The people of the world suspect that what Jeffrey Epstein was involved in was profoundly evil and involved many of the world's most powerful and influential people. We know there is strong opposition to the truth being exposed about this. Evil people are terrified of the reaction of good people if the truth is known. The same is true for the assassinations of John Kennedy, Martin Luther King, and Robert Kennedy. The same is true for 9/11 and COVID. There are truths out there that would change the world if understood and acted on. As an example, let's look at 9/11.
I said, how could a plane, even a 767 or 747 or whatever it might have been, how could it possibly go through this deal? I happen to think that they had not only a plane, but they had bombs that exploded almost simultaneously, because I just can't imagine anything being able to go through that wall.
Coming out, we passed the lobby. There was no lobby. So I believe the bomb hit the lobby first, and a couple of seconds in the first plane hit.
I think a bomb went off in the lobby first, then a plane hit the building. But then another plane hit the other building.
You want to call your mother or something?
Should have taken a couple of companies that they were leaving back to us. They were stuck in the tunnel. Busy doing.
Go against another.
The third explosion, the whole lobby collapsed on us.
Was that a secondary explosion?
Yes, it was. Then there was a third one, too, after that one.
But he said that there was another explosion which took place, and then an hour after the first hit here, with the first crash that took place, he said, there was another explosion that took place in one of the towers here. So obviously, according to his theory, he thinks that there were actually devices that were planted in the building.
We've heard reports of secondary explosions after the aircraft impacted, whether in fact there wasn't something else at the base of the towers that in fact were the coup de grace to bring them to the ground.
CNN is now reporting that there was a third explosion at the World Trade Center, probably an explosion from the ground that caused World Trade Center 1 to collapse on top of itself.
Who thinks for a moment that Arabs planted the explosives that actually brought the World Trade Center to the ground, including the collapse of Building 7? If the case cannot be made, they planted the explosives, then who did? Who had the opportunity and the motive? Can you see the value of truth? Can you see why some work so hard to hide it? If we knew the truth about 9/11, would we have waged war in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, and Libya? If Americans were involved in planning and coordination, what should we have done to them? How would we have responded to COVID if we'd been told the truth about the role of American gain-of-function research, the effectiveness of things like ivermectin, and the dangers of the vaccine? The most important truth there is that can make the world better is the truth about Jesus Christ. He is not just the Savior of individuals, He's the Savior of nations and all mankind. Here are the basics. Many Jews were looking for a Messiah who would, like King David, create an army of mighty men who could toss the Romans out of Judea. Instead, Jesus came preaching his kingdom is not of this world. He called for his followers to seek his spiritual kingdom and then live on earth based on the principles of that kingdom. The profound truth Jesus taught is that we are both flesh and spirit beings. As spirit beings, we exist in a great battle between morality and immorality. Our body actively is directed from our spirit and soul. This is clearly personal, but it's also social. There are social norms. Most Americans consider shoplifting immoral. People do not shoplift because they have a shoplifting gene in their DNA. Jesus spoke of a sinful nature. Paul explained that the fall of mankind resulted in humans seeing themselves as animals rather than beings created in the image of God. Male animals often fight for control of a pack and choice of all females. Animals do not respect written laws. They respect those who can kill them. Many in government and business are driven by lust to acquire wealth and power by horrifying means. The truth of their wickedness needs to be exposed if such behavior is to be kept in check. Their behavior is not motivated by a higher nature. Many millions of Americans love God and are motivated by their higher nature. They see themselves as beings accountable to a loving God. They promote goodness. If you're a school teacher, you see daily the impact of values being passed to children. You see some who are well-behaved and even kind. You dread seeing others who are rebellious and who wish to bully others. Of profound significance in a quest for a better world is the basic conflict between good and evil. It's obvious that much going on in Washington, D.C. is and has been evil. A truthful explanation of assassinations, terrorism, and pandemics would go a long way towards setting higher moral standards for government behavior. This would bless the United States and the world. It would help end wars. The good people of America, who would love to see God's kingdom come and his will be done in society, do not wish to be governed by thugs living as wealthy animals preying on the sheep. Donald Trump claims he is out to create a golden age. He knows the World Trade Center towers were brought down with explosives in order to get the United States into wars and increase federal control of American citizens. If he truly wishes to make America great, he needs to let the American people know the truth about all that their own leaders have been doing to them. It is the truth about Jesus that truly sets men free. But the truth about America, including Charlie Kirk's murder, would help usher in a golden age. I will close with a song titled A Golden Age.
Would you like to see a golden age where poverty's gone. An end to every war on earth, with kindness all day long. Don't look to politicians with plans they can impose. A golden age can only come when evil is deposed. Let hearts cry out for goodness as declared by God above, and every child be raised from birth to know of God's great love. What's golden is not money that fills a bank account. What's golden is not earthly things in generous amounts. A golden age is culture where God's will is desired. A golden age is families where parents are admired. A golden age is joyful with fruit from heaven above. A golden age is neighborhoods just filled with those who share God's love. With values that match God's plan for man, but the choices that you make all day are where you need to take a stand. What's golden is God's wisdom in all we do in life. It's what makes life amazing for a husband and a wife. A golden age brings freedom to those whose minds are bound self-destructive lifestyles that pull their victims down. What's golden comes from heaven to bless the hearts of all. It's freedom from the bondage resulting from